This is a fairly average wedding photography website. It has the usual header, full screen slideshow like many wedding photographers use, some text, some links to other pages in the website. But it also has a lot of mistakes, design, copywriting, user experience issues. It's also a website that has multiple platforms stitched together, one for the portfolio, one for the blog, one for proofing. You probably don't have all of these issues on your own website, or you have different ones. But this is just a taste of what you can learn by doing a website audit with me. You can learn all about this service on my website. Here, it basically explains what it's all about, what it's included inside the audit, how it all works, and a full list of the hundreds of elements that I look at, both from a business standpoint to see how the website is aligned to your own business goals. And then I look at all possible design details, SEO, content. I look into traffic reports for your website. I look into technical stuff that might affect indexing and rankings. I'll look into website speed and mobile friendliness and other more kind of advanced user experience and conversion issues that might prevent you from getting more results, more inquiries from the website. But back to the website, consider this like a 3 minute, very condensed summary of what I cover in my website audits. I usually like to look at the site structure first, what pages are in your website, and how that aligns with your own goals. Let's take this simple website as an example just to get a sense of maybe mistakes that you're doing on your own website. But this is a wedding and portrait photographer, and he doesn't have weddings in the navigation menu. It's just a portfolio page that has links to full wedding sessions, basically, but not a best of portfolio session. There's no service page for wedding photography, nothing to learn about what it all entails, what the process is like, testimonials, more information in general about his wedding photography service. And then I know, because I recently spoke to this photographer, they also offer family photography and maternity photography and other services like that, but they're nowhere to be found in the navigation menu. He has pages for them, but they're hidden or misused. There's only a seniors portfolio page which has no text, just a gallery of images. So you can see a clear content gap here. Then there are a few informational pages here in the drop-down menu, which is a bit vague. It's misleading. It's called the goods instead of something more familiar that people would understand immediately, like info or something like that. And then there's an about page. There's a contact page, which is kind of hidden here in the drop-down menu. It usually needs to be in the top level navigation menu, and it usually sits last. Then there's an investment page, which acts as a pricing page. Accolades, which is basically just a testimonials or reviews page, but it's named differently, again, to try to be creative. But in web design, familiarity is actually important so people can discover and use these pages. Photo booth is an external link to a different side business that offers photo booths, and proofing is a link basically to a client area, which is actually a different platform. So as I said, it's a mishmash of different platforms. So the main website here is done on a platform called PhotoBiz. The blog section is done on Squarespace in a different subdomain, and proofing is done on Pixieset. So all of these could actually be combined on a single platform that does all of those which would make it all more cohesive and easy to navigate. Not to mention SEO advantages there. So the navigation menu is a bit off. Typography is fairly bad here. The body copy is too small. The font size needs to be increased. The headings don't have any personality. They're just using the same font. Maybe they could be made more attractive using like the font in the logo or something else for extra personality. The website apparently does not have a footer, but it's actually a mistake in the website settings because it is there, but it's all set to white. So it's invisible because it's white on white. I know it's there because if you try to select it, it becomes visible. So that's kind of a design mistake. The homepage does a lot of things that I don't like on photography websites. One is that it has a full screen homepage slideshow. And this is actually a pet peeve of mine because people don't have the patience to sit and watch a slideshow these days. I'd much rather replace this with a smaller panoramic slideshow so you can start to see text underneath, or an info box on top of the slideshow, or even a collage of 4 or 5 images straight away so that first time visitors to the website get an immediate idea of the full range of work of quality that the photographer is capable of, instead of just seeing 1 or 2 slides and then going past. This is like a big block of text that's boring. There's no good headings in here. It's like buongiorno or like welcome, like other websites do. This needs to be a pair of H1, H2 headings that communicate what the business is all about, what sets them apart as a photographer, and what locations they are covering, where they're based in. And then the rest of the homepage should do more. It should talk about the promise, the benefits, the emotional benefits that clients get from working with this photographer. It should showcase their expertise, maybe some social proof, more testimonials or awards or publications they were featured in, and some sort of featured services section linking to the main specialties that they do as a photographer, instead of the current ones, contact, about, and blog. The contact box is now the first thing that the homepage asks visitors to do, but they're obviously not ready yet. They come to the website for the first time and they're not yet convinced. So maybe let's talk about that. Let's imagine a first time wedding photography client, a bride coming to this website for the first time, discovering this website. And I'll exaggerate the navigation behavior a bit just to try to make a point. But they come to the website, okay, they see a full screen slideshow. It's a brand name. They don't know the photographer's name yet from the logo. They can see here that the photographer's name is Lauren. And then they don't sit and watch the slideshow too much. They probably don't read all of this block of text. It's too long. They're not ready yet to contact the photographer because they don't know the work yet. They don't know pricing. They don't know if they trust them. So then they start hunting for a wedding page to see more information, or a list of services, or a pricing page, and it's nowhere to be found easily. The footer is gone. It's a bit weird. So then they start browsing, a bit confused in the navigation menu. Okay, there's a portfolio page. These are clearly weddings from start to finish, but there's no best of collection just to see. I want to see the quality that this photographer has in their photos. Then there's seniors, but there's no weddings in the navigation menu. Does that mean that they don't offer wedding photography anymore? It's just seniors photography? That's a bit confusing. And then Okay, there's an about page, which is good. Here's where I can see the photographer for the first time and a photo of his wife, but the about page says about us. So is this actually studio, or does he work with his wife during wedding photography shoots or not? Why is it in some places it uses singular, other times it's plural? That adds to the confusion a bit. Then there's an investment page, finally, where they can see some information about starting prices and what wedding packages, what the wedding service contains. There's no call to action here, no way to reach the contact page straight from here. And then photo booth. Okay, maybe we want a photo booth at the wedding, but that takes me to a different domain about this service. So I get back here. So all of this lack of content, misorganizing the navigation menu, wrong internal links through the website adds to the confusion and loses inquiries. Any traffic that the website gets would not convert as well because it's a bit confusing and it lacks information. There's no service page for the wedding photography or for other specialties that the photographer does. There's no FAQ section on the homepage or anywhere else to pre-answer questions and to clarify their needs. There's no clear path with call to action buttons from the homepage ending on the contact page. Usually first-time visitors need to see something from the homepage. They go to the service page to read more about the service. They see a portfolio section. They go to the pricing page, and only then are they ready or somewhat ready to take a decision and maybe go to the contact page to send an inquiry. All of those user experience details matter for conversions. The flow of call to action buttons through the website, the easy access to contact information, easy access to pricing information, trust elements throughout the website, testimonials, awards, and even case studies, detailed case studies from happy clients, FAQ sections, like I said. All of those matter for increasing conversions on a website, besides the aesthetic and design improvements that often need to be made. Okay, so this would then be followed in my audits by a very comprehensive SEO review of the website where I look at how pages use heading tags and SEO tags. I often discover on websites pages that have no H1 tags or pages that have multiple H1 tags on the same page, or extra pages in the website that are basically duplicates of the homepage. Like this website has a page called Home 2, which is just basically another version of the homepage that the photographer might have experimented with in the past, which is still indexed by Google, and it's fighting for attention. It's like a mistake in terms of SEO. And this website actually has 10 plus such pages which exist. They're not in the navigation menu, but they affect SEO. And all sorts of other advanced SEO checks that I look at, like canonicalization, and how this website had a huge mistake where in the website settings area where they're supposed to add Google Analytics tracking codes or metapixel codes, they had some weird HTML code, like HTML and body tags opening and closing in there, which would break the whole syntax of the website and affect indexing and cause all sorts of other issues. So all of this I look at in great detail, tens and hundreds of small details, all starting from looking at your business and your goals and your competitors and how you're currently getting traffic and all of that. That's the guiding light To know how to get more results from the website, more inquiries from the website, it starts with understanding what your business is all about before I dive into all of the technical details on the website. Feel free to reach out if you want me to do a detailed website audit like this. With that information, you are free to improve the website yourself. If you have this do-it-yourself mindset, I give you a very detailed action plan, and we have a long Zoom call where I explain everything live, and you are free to ask questions so everything is extra clear. Or if you need me to implement changes to the website, whether that's a major upgrade like a redesign from scratch or just a website makeover where I improve whatever's possible on your existing website, on your existing platform, that's all doable as well. I only work with photographers exclusively, so I know the industry, I know the nuances of photography websites in particular. But this is all about the website audit and how you can learn why your website is not getting you the results you want.